Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Ron and I'm from Arts for All, and I'm here with you today to do an art project. So let's get started. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures and I want you to tell me or tell anybody you're with how these pictures were made. Here's the first one by an artist named Henri Matisse. Look at all the nice colors, the nice shapes. What do they remind you of? How was this made? Here's the second one by an artist named Jean Arp. It has a few colors also, different shapes. So were these painted? Were they drawn? Did they use markers? Did they use pastels? What do you think? Well, they actually were made by cutting out pieces of paper or ripping pieces of paper and gluing them down to another paper. Does anyone know what that's called? Anybody? Yeah, it's called a collage, C-O-L-L-A-G-E. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start exploring collages and have you make one. All right, so what we need to make collages are papers, like I told you, and glue. So we know you're at home and we need you to use the materials that's already in your house. I have a glue stick that I'm going to use. You may have a glue stick, you may have liquid glue, you may even have tape. Any of those are fine. For the paper, we ask you to look around in your house and see what you have. I have some cardboard left over from some socks that I bought. I have some junk mail that came that we can use. I have more cardboard from a cookie box. These cookies were delicious. I have a page from a magazine. I have a paper bag. We could use that too. I have a piece of paper from the computer printer. I have a piece of writing paper like you use in school. And then I have a couple of pieces of construction paper, black. Which one is black? Black and tan color. I also have some newspaper. So any of those papers would be fine. We don't have to use all of them today. So I'm going to pick out a couple. I'm going to pick out this tan paper to be my background. That's going to stay on the table. I'm going to pick out this writing paper to use for my collage. And let's see what else. I think I'll pick out this magazine page to use for my collage. So the first thing we need to do is make some shapes. How do we make shapes? We're not going to use the scissors today. We're only going to use our hands as our tools. So that means we're going to rip some shapes. Sometimes to make it easier to rip, we need to pinch. So let's all pinch. All right, pinch. So let's see how we tear when we pinch. I pinch over here, either side of where I want to tear, and I tear. This little piece came off. Did you hear that noise it made? What kind of shape is that? Yeah, it's a triangle. Let's see if I can rip a longer shape. Yes, I ripped a much longer shape. So I'm going to rip a few more shapes. When I go quickly, the shape I make, I really can't decide what kind of shape. It just makes itself. But if I go slowly, then I can turn the paper and make the shape that I want. I'm going to try and make a rectangle. So I have a rectangle or a square, except it has this little piece sticking out. So I can rip that off too. So when I tear quickly, I get a shape that I have no control over. When I tear slowly and turn the paper, I have more control. I'm going to tear one quickly. Now I'm going to tear this paper the same way. Let's see if I can make something that looks like a circle. I'm tearing it more slowly, and I'm turning the paper. So what I have, because I tore it at the edge, I have more like a semicircle. round on top, flat on the bottom. But if you look closely at the papers, you can see when we tear it, we get a very ragged edge. We don't get a smooth edge, we get a ragged edge when we tear. So I'm going to tear a few more, then I'm going to show you how we can place the pieces on our other paper. So I will be right back. Okay, so here's my paper close up, and let's talk about some of the shapes that we made. We made small shapes, we made big shapes, we made shapes that are very wide, and we made some shapes that are very narrow or very thin. We also made some shapes that are very long, how long it is, and shapes that are very short. So with all these shapes, we want to see how we can arrange them. So we can just start putting them down on the paper like that and deciding where we want to put others. Maybe we want to put them far away. Maybe we want to put them near to or close to each other like that. Maybe we want to layer them. That means we put one right on top of the other. Maybe we want to overlap. Overlap means we put the edge of one over the edge of another like that one. So there are all different ways we can use our shapes. We can make a collage that looks like something real, or we can make a collage that is just a design of different shapes like I'm doing. So I'm just deciding where I need to put them, where I want to put them so it looks good. Maybe I want to take a piece of paper I already ripped and rip it again to have a different shape. Put it over there. Maybe I want a smaller piece right there. I'll rip this again. So that's all it takes. If you don't like the way that you arranged your shapes, you can always dump it off and start over again. But let's pretend we decided that we like that, or we like the way we made our design, or you did, and now we have to start putting it down on the paper. So we have to use whatever glue we have, in this case, a glue stick, whatever you have, tape or liquid glue. So what I usually do is I put the glue on the back of this pieces of paper that I want to glue, that I want to stick down, and I put the glue. You don't need a lot of glue. Put the glue on the back, decide where you want it, put it down, flatten it, and I usually count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's glued down. Won't fall off, see? And then you just continue. You decide where you want your next shape. Put glue on the back. And glue it down. I'm going to overlap this shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it looks like a letter. What letter does it look like? So I would just go on and keep gluing my shapes down until I finished my collage. So that's what I'd like you to do. You can pause this video and make your collage, or you can just wait until the video is all done. But that's basically what we need to do. Okay, I'll be right back again. So, okay, I showed you how to make your collage, your first collage, how to make the shapes, what kind of shapes we have, where you can place them or arrange them on your paper. I hope that when you make your collage, you'll be able to show other people in your house. Maybe you can show your teacher. If you can take a picture of it, maybe even I'll get to see it. I hope you make your collage. I hope you make many collages. It's been fun showing you how to make this collage from ripping shapes. And maybe next time we can make a collage using a scissors and using other different kinds of shapes. So have a good week, and I hope I see you soon. Thank you very much for taking part in our collage class for Arts for All. This is Mr. Ron saying bye-bye.